So this is my face recognition website. This is my first React app that I created using React on the front end. I worked with an image recognition API called Clarifai, and these are Node, an Express server on the back end, and a Postgre database in the back end. So this is the first React app that I created and deployed to Heroku. And first, before getting to the homepage, a user needs to register or sign in. So I'll just register a user, Gina, so Gina Watson. Give them an email, gina@gmail.com, and a password of 1234. So once a user is registered, uh, we go to the homepage. We go to the homepage where, okay, yes. So we are redirected to the homepage where we have this spring logo, we have an entry count which is initialized to 0, and we have the input form where the magic brain text faces in the picture. So we can use some Bob Marley photos that I have on here. Paste the URL, and once you hit the text, you can see that there's a bounding box, a blue bounding box around the face, and the entry count is increased by 1. If I use another image, in the text, the face is also detected and the entry count is increased. I could sign in and sign back in using Gina at gmail.com. So all this, so the user's information is stored in the PostgreSQL, in the Postgre database. So the so uh, the user Gina is able to sign in, sign back in, and if I was to sign in as an unregistered user, for example, as this Adam at gmail.com, the user 1234, I will not be able to sign in. I get a 400 badge request because there is no user called Adam in the database, so I'll get a wrong credentials error message. So if we are to look at the code base, I separated my so I separated the the code base into the client and server side. So the client side has 8 components: the face recognition, image link form, logo, navigation, rank, register, and sign in components. And open it up. So the face recognition component is just a functional. It's just a functional component uh, with an image URL and box popped passed in. The image link form. This is where we have the input field where we put in our image URL, and we have an on input change and on button submit method passed in as pops. The logo.js file is the brain logo that you see on the side. That is the stylistic component. The navigation component is again another functional component. I do not use React router for routing between different pages. So I just use um, an if else statement to see if it's signed in, display the sign out link, and if it's not signed in, then display the sign in and register. rank.js, this is where we have the count of the entries incremented. It's a very simple functional component with template string that increases the that shows the name and the entries. The register class is a smart class. It's a class component with state, email, password, and name. We pass in the name, email, and password, and we capture that new event or targeted value and set that to state. And then we have the onSubmit sign-in method that fetches to this page, which is in the server side. We'll check out the different pages in the server side. So we send in a push request to this access control allow origin header, and we pass in our email, password, and name as body of the push request. And then we call in the load user, which moves the user to the it loads the user. This method, this load user and on-route change are in the after.js file. And then this is the form with the different methods passed in as top. For the sign-in, it looks similar to the register, but here we just have the sign-in and email and password, and again we have an onSubmit sign-in that loads the user, and after signing in, the route is changed to the home page. And then in our after.js file, the after.js file, this is again a class component. This part as you see on the screen. We have an initial state with empty input image IL box route if the name is set false and a user object. So we pass in pop and call data, and we set the state of the user using the data ID, name, email, entries, and join, which is a Boolean value. And then we calculate the face location, which gives us the dimensions of the bounding box. And we have a display face box and input change methods, and then we have an on button submit, which sets the state of the image URL to the input the URL image, the image URL that we copy and paste onto the input field, and then we make a fetch request to the image URL, and we also send in a push request to the image path, and we set the state of the user, and we also set the entries to account, and we display the face box, passing in the list of calculate face location as a parameter. So because React is a functional, uses functional programming, we have access to higher level functions where we can pass in functions as parameters of other functions. On routing, this is where we have this is where we change routes from either the sign-out or the home page, and then we render our different components with the relevant props passed in. And yes, for the server, let me make sure this is the correct one that the correct page, this is the correct screen that I'm sharing. So so we have the server protocol FaceRecognition API, and we just confirm that this is the screen I'm sharing. Okay. So you have different controllers. We have the image, which is what we call the Clarifai API with the API key, which should be 7. And this is what we do with face. We call it the face detection model. And here we have one image, handle image, that queries the database and checks for the ID is equal to ID and increments the entry by 1. In the profile class, we have make a query request to the database and check where the ID is equal to relevant ID, and we return the user. In the register class, we have this is where we register a new user and insert it into the database. So first we have to encrypt the password, and then we insert it into the database as a hash and email. Yeah. And in the sign-in page, this is where we handle the signing of the user. So we check for the validation of the email is supposed to the requester body.email, and we also compare the password, the encrypted password to the one that's passed in and check if it's valid. If it is, it's passed through, otherwise you get a wrong credentials 400 bad request. So that is how I was able to implement my face recognition app. It was a really cool and fun project to do where I learned not only the basics of React, but how to create and connect to a Postgres database, and also how to deploy my app to a site like Clarifai. Uh, so I learned a lot using this project, and uh, yeah, it was a fun project to implement. I'll just stop recording, and thank you for listening.